Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Sell More Book Show, episode 642. I'm Brian Cohen from Best Page Forward. I love getting to chat with you guys today. We are coming at you. It is around the end of July. We're getting to the 2/3 point of summer. Sorry to tell you, those of you who are stretching out that summer, but I hope you're having a good one. I know that we are here in the Cohen household. So, we are back to recording a couple of these in batch. So, if something magical and amazing happens, you might not hear about it this week. It's like Dave Jessen built a rocket ship. You're not going to hear about that if that happened. I hope it happened. I would not be surprised. I wouldn't put it past him. But as a result, we don't have the housekeeping for this week, but we'll have it on a regular cadence. The answering of the questions. But I am so excited that we get to keep delivering this show to you, and keep me posted. You know I love to help. If there's something I can help with or my team can help with, we've got your back. Let's go to the top story of the week. Translated, and they will read it. Is putting your book in more languages worth the price? Amazon just added 2 more languages to their free Kindle Translate feature, bringing the number of languages translated from English to 5. Quote, the service now supports translations between English and Spanish, German, French, Italian, and Portuguese. The AI translation service, currently in beta for KDP authors, allows authors to create and manage their translations, reports Good e-readers Michael Kozlowski. Amazon's KDP article says that all translations undergo an automated review for accuracy and quality before publication, although authors are able to preview them before publication or allow them to publish automatically once the process is completed. One area that might be worth spending money on is a cover for the translated edition. If not, translated editions will generate a default cover, which is your existing cover image with a white border and the translated language at the top. Luckily, you can update your cover to a professionally designed one at any time. Quote, with historically less than 5% of titles on Amazon.com available in more than one language, says Kozlowski, Kindle Translate creates opportunities for authors to reach new audiences and earn more. I've heard a lot of different things about these. So I have definitely heard of a couple people seeing success. A couple. I've also heard of a lot of people not seeing much. I've heard of people advertising to some of these, which you can do. And I've heard of people advertising to some that worked well and made them some money. Almost always, I will recommend, if you are thinking of translations, I would look at Vanessa Vale's Thrifty Tips for Authors, because even if you are using an AI generated translation, there are so many marketing things you can do. You can have an email list in that language and start to build up a following there. There are promo sites for some other languages, like German language books. And so there are things that you can keep an eye on that are worth looking into. Now, some people certainly have been against the idea of these because it might be taking money from translators. And that is something you must keep in mind. That I don't like it when anybody loses jobs. But if this is something that has been on your radar for a long time, you've never had the money for it, maybe it is worth the experimentation. Hot potato or wisdom question. When should you consider a translation? Is it ever the wrong time? If you are really focused on writing and this is going to take time away from you, I would say it's a wrong time for translation. But if you do find some examples of people who've used Kindle Translate in your genre and it's worked well for them, then it could be worth it. But I like to go on data. Is there data that says Kindle Translate has led to successful translations in that genre? Something I'm interested in. Second hot potato wisdom question. Once my books are translated, probably into a language I don't speak or read or speak, what's the best way to market them? So Amazon ads are the easiest, of course, because those are already wired in. I am certain that one of the reasons Amazon fast put this into action is because they're going to make more Amazon ad money from those. In addition, I really like Vanessa Vale's stuff, like building your own email list in that language, which maybe there's some AI assisting things you can do there, but it's also helpful to just get a human person to translate your emails for you. And then last question, should I go ahead and translate all my books into the languages? Look, if you're never going to use a translator, then maybe, but I'll tell you, if your books have sold $5 this month, translating them all suddenly isn't going to make you 500. That's going to come from market research, getting better at your craft, and figuring out what joyous thing you can do that happens to sell you more books. Because I love it when the joy intersects the marketing. All right, let's go to the lightning round. I don't know why the lightning exploded, but it did. I've been so focused on writing books that sell that I don't love what I'm writing anymore. How can I get my mojo back? Let's say you're deep in, you're into book 3, you kind of need to finish. I would look to find, well, what are the scenes you would love writing in this book that aren't in here yet? So finding the love within the thing, that's one thing. Secondly, I think you need at least something, whether it's you're just writing it in a journal or the next project you do, you need to have something joyful attached to your writing. So find a way to write joyfully on the side if you need the thing that you don't love at the moment to pay the bills. So have some joyful writing happening. All right. Second question, how has the AI influx changed how authors should market their books? Look, I don't know if there's a should to it, and I don't know if this has changed anything. Be a person. Connect with people for real. Be on screen. Be answering some of the emails. Share who you are and what you actually do. I don't think it's ever going to go out of style. Third question, what's a failure you've watched a client turn into their biggest redirect? So I have definitely seen clients go in a direction they was like, this book has to work. It doesn't work. This book has to work. Let me edit it and get it a new cover. And it didn't work. And then the third time is, it didn't work. I need another new cover. I need another new take on it. And I need to push it at a certain time of year. And then it takes off. I've also seen a lot of people get stuck in the pattern of having to revamp, and it never going anywhere. But the one that comes to me is Jeffrey Mason, who I know is a listener to this show. He had a book for Father's Day, I believe, was the one that was, no, it was Mother's Day that was causing him trouble. The Mom, I Want to Hear Your Story books. And these are journals. And the first time he put it out, it didn't work. Second time he put it out, it didn't work. But the third time it did. And it just showed that he has really, really good perseverance. He got better at what he did. And then eventually it just totally took off. So that is probably the biggest. And then, of course, Jeffrey in 2024 went massively viral, had an 8-figure year, changed his life. And so that failure eventually became the bedrock of a big, successful career. What is a joy practice you've built in your own business that you'd prescribe to every author? You know, I've talked about this a little bit. This isn't actually one of mine, so I'm going to cheat. But something I talk about in the Author Ad School program that Shez mentioned in the previous episode, the Author Ad School program, every other week there's like a rah-rah coaching call with me, a group rah-rah coaching call. And we've talked a lot about like what are habits you can have throughout your day that are against the negative influxes, the negative words that you say to yourself in your head. And one idea that people have brought up is every time you go through a doorway, saying an affirmation to yourself, like, I'm going to be a 6-figure author. I'm a 6-figure author. I'm a 6-figure author. And the doorway thing I think is so huge because how many times do you go through a doorway every day? Probably a ton of times. So if you do that every single time you go through a doorway, good things are going to happen. So that is a joy practice that's not in mine, but maybe that'll inspire me to do it. Last question. How do you know when a pivot is strategic or when it is avoidance? And I love this question. Journal it out. Write it out. Be real. Be raw. Talk it out. Is this really what you want to do? Or is it really just avoiding doing the work that you need to do to make the original plan work? Write it down. Awesome. I love this. I love this. I love this. I am going to ask in the question of the week, what is a joy practice you've built into your own business that you'd prescribe to other authors? We're going to put that in here. QOTW, question of the week. I am so excited for hearing your answers. Go to the Sell More Book Show After Party group or go to sellmorebookshow.com. Lay it on us. Let us know. And I can't wait to hear your joy. Folks, we got lots of fun stuff happening in August. I think there's going to be some free classes. There's going to be all sorts of cool stuff. Pay attention to your emails from me. We're also hiring for some positions, so stay tuned for that information as well. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a great week of book selling, and we'll be back next week for episode 643. Bye.